right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Right, warm and even muggy Tuesday with storm chances increasing heading into midweek. Where the stronger storms are most likely and why the rain chances linger later in the week.
Rebuild and relief. The promise tonight of millions of dollars to help tornado victims in North City. Our top story, 20 miles of terror for an Uber driver.
It was a horrible thing that happened early Saturday.
New details tonight on the arrest and the shooting of a beloved hockey coach. And that hockey coach has lost his vision in his left eye after being shot in the face. Good evening, I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. That shooting happened outside the Columbia, Illinois Police Department. 5 on your side's Annie Krall has new information on a terrifying ride that started across the river.
It was in North St. Louis County around 2:30 a.m. Saturday, police say, when 51-year-old Alan Locke got pinged to pick up 20-year-old Kareem Weaver and 17-year-old Robert Fain. Officers say they immediately pointed a gun at Locke, hoping to steal his 2023 white Acura, but neither could drive a stick shift, according to Columbia Police Chief Jason Donjon.
He was going there. They noticed a Jeep key on the fob. And they questioned, hey, is your Jeep at your house? Yes. Is it stick shift? No. What they said was their intention was to go there to get the Jeep and steal it.
Rather than pulling into his driveway, the father of 5 pulled into the Columbia Police Department.
Based on the armed violence they had already shown, like Mr. Locke, I would not have felt comfortable bringing them and trusting that they were just going to go for a different vehicle.
Shortly after, one of the suspects shot Locke in the face, potentially detrimental to his coaching career at the Columbia Eagles Hockey Club and with the Merrimack Sharks Club Hockey.
My 2 boys, he's coached in hockey and currently is still coaching one of my boys. A great family, great man. And for that to happen to anybody, but the community's really coming together and well wishes are pouring out.
Both suspects ran into the woods of a nearby park. After about a 45-minute manhunt assisted by canine units from Waterloo Police and the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, a police drone noticed a silver GMC SUV with 2 women inside cruising by the police department.
They explained the 2 female passengers as looking confused and possibly lost as they drove slowly by.
The drone operator eventually captured the moment when the 2 men ran out of the woods and jumped into the SUV.
What they told us, the one woman got a phone call from the 20-year-old to come pick them up.
All 4 suspects were taken into custody. When it comes to what you should do if you're an Uber driver and get caught in a similar situation,
there is no great answer, but I agree. I think, come to the police department. If an officer would have been present, would it have been a different outcome? I don't know. In fact, he tried kind of driving erratically to get pulled over, and nobody got him pulled over.
Fain, the 17-year-old, is being charged as an adult for attempted murder and aggravated battery. Weaver is charged with kidnapping and vehicular hijacking. As of now, the 2 women involved aren't charged. Officers are currently investigating if the suspects may have used fake Uber profiles.
Turning now to our weather impact forecast, a warm and quiet night in St. Louis. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking rain and storms moving into the region within the next 24 to 36 hours. Scott.
Yeah, and the smoke moving out. That means those sunsets like we've seen the last couple of nights, well, they're going to be a little bit different here as we head into tomorrow night. But look at that, just a little dot because of the smoke-filled sky. Smoke's moving east, storms firing up to the west. They're lining up from parts of Iowa across Nebraska, then Kansas into Oklahoma. We'll watch this area to our west overnight for continued development, and it appears as though those storms, especially the ones in Oklahoma, along with a little bit of a low-level jet, will kick up more showers and a few rumbles of thunder in the next 24 hours. In the early morning hours tomorrow, it's west of St. Louis. But as we head into tomorrow night, into Wednesday and Thursday, the chances will increase even in the metro area. For those of you in the storm recovery area, we have concerns about that. We're not expecting severe thunderstorms in the storm recovery area that encompasses a large part of North St. Louis. But any thunderstorm will have lightning. Downpours are possible. There may be a few gusty winds. So stay up to date on the forecast the next few days. Secure any of those pop-up tents that are out there and the tarps that cover many roofs as well. We will see you in just a few minutes. We'll talk more about the rest of the week, Mike.
And contractors and tornado victims say the rain and the threat of more storms makes recovery more difficult.
5 on your side's Laura Barteski is live in North City tonight, where just hours ago, St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer says funding is on the way for building stabilization.
Mike and Kelly, this funding is long overdue. Tornado victims I talked to today said they had to spend what they have because insurance and government assistance still haven't made it yet.
I think the one word would be devastation.
This is Natalie Hughes, the brick lady. She started helping right after the disaster, clearing trees and debris, but then it came time to use her skills to help rebuild brick by brick.
This is a historic city. We are a brick city, so brick is like gold, you know? So we have to understand the importance of what we have and what we can do with it.
She's been helping the owners of Raggedy Ann and Andy's Learning Center rebuild their business and rental property using the very bricks the storm brought down. But the rain has made it challenging for her and others trying to protect their property.
We pull a tarp over the scaffold. You know, if it's not pouring down, ridiculously raining, we can still work and keep things going. So you just have to get creative sometimes.
The owners tell me the recovery is all coming out of their pocket right now, and they're waiting on insurance and still haven't seen any funding from the government to help in the meantime, which Hughes says everyone desperately needs.
And that's what we pay our taxes for. So we expect this. When something like this happens, that's the expectation. Help us. I'm expecting the city, the state, and everybody to pull their weight, because we're pulling ours.
St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer reassured reporters on Monday they're still working on it. $5 million of ARPA money will soon be allocated.
We know we've got to get these funds out as quickly as possible to really help ensure that residents can stabilize buildings that are badly compromised. And we want to make sure that in deploying these funds, we're able to protect those buildings for the duration of time it's going to take to really get them rehabilitated.
Using some of the Rams settlement money is also still on the table.
We've also been in productive, collaborative conversations with President Megan Green and the Board of Aldermen about allocating some Rams funds that we'll see some announcements coming in the days ahead.
What we're hearing the most from the storm victims, as well as even the contractors out here, is that they really need the help rebuilding, or at least the funds to do it. Raggedy Ann and Andy also lost their fence as well as a lot of their toys outside, so we'll have a link to their Amazon wish list as well as information for the brick lady should you need her information on KSDK.com. Reporting live in North City, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
And thieves continue to target neighborhoods hit hard by last month's tornado. St. Louis police have recovered more utility wire there to restore power to storm victims. Authorities say they will continue to investigate and arrest thieves. Storm relief is a top priority for a special session of the Missouri legislature. Lawmakers returned to the state capitol in Jefferson City today. Governor Mike Kehoe is urging them to approve financial aid and housing help for disaster victims across Missouri. The state has also requested federal aid and is waiting to hear from FEMA. Lawmakers are also discussing stadium funding to keep the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals in Missouri. Just hours ago, the man police say unleashed a makeshift flamethrower on a peaceful crowd in Boulder, Colorado, appeared in court.
And tonight, federal agents are calling it an act of terror carried out by an Egyptian national who has been in the country illegally since his visa expired in 2023. NBC's Jay Gray has the disturbing new details and video of the attack.
In just seconds, witnesses say a peaceful march is swallowed by flames and chaos.
I saw fire, I saw people falling and screaming and crying and tripping.
The suspect screaming "Free Palestine," spraying the crowd with a makeshift flamethrower.
Shoots of fire, linear, about 20 feet long.
Followed by multiple explosions.
He had 3 Molotov cocktails. One of them he threw inside of a group.
That group, called Run for Their Lives, routinely holding rallies calling for the immediate release of Israeli hostages in Gaza, as others nearby rushed in to help. Police arrested this man, 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Salman. Investigators say he carried out the attack alone, injuring 12, some with severe burns.
So there were 16 counts of attempted murder in the first degree. 8 of those counts are for attempted murder with intent and after deliberation. The other 8 counts are attempted murder with extreme indifference.
Police spending hours in and around this residence east of Colorado Springs, the FBI saying it's associated with the suspect. While back in Boulder,
probably the scariest, most frustrating, terrifying thing, not just for me and my wife, but for my kids and for all of our community.
A community that 24 hours later is still on edge. Jay Gray, NBC News, Boulder, Colorado.
Investigators say Sullivan has confessed to the attack and that he, quote, wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead, and if given the chance, he would do it all over again. St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Holocaust Museum says it's heartbroken about the attack in Boulder. This comes after the double murder at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington and the vandalism of multiple Jewish sites in Paris. In a statement, the museum says, quote, "We will not look away, we will not be silent, we will teach, we will remember, and we will act." While there are no known direct threats against the museum, officials say they will continue to have robust security. And tonight, officials in O'Fallon, Missouri, confirm that police are investigating a case of anti-Semitic vandalism found just hours before the attack in Boulder. We're told graffiti of swastikas and anti-Jewish language were found at a home on a construction site.
An Arnold man is headed to prison for 18 years for holding a woman and 2 children hostage in a downtown hotel. A judge handed down that sentence to William Gorley today. He pleaded guilty to 3 counts of second-degree kidnapping for the January 2024 standoff at the Drury Inn near the Arch grounds. At the time, Gorley was out on bond for a prior domestic violence charge. The woman and 2 children were not physically hurt.
Just hours ago, Spire customers had the opportunity to sound off on a possible rate hike on their natural gas bill.
I'm looking at my gas bill and I'm paying more for delivery than I am for natural gas. How do you justify that?
Spire says customers could see costs go up 15%. That means the average bill would go up $14 in the fall. The utility says the money will go towards infrastructure improvements.
The primary purpose of this rate case is to ensure that we're able to recover the costs that we've invested into our system to provide safe and reliable service.
The hike must be approved by the Missouri Public Service Commission.
He was murdered behind bars.
He did not deserve to pass away on a prison floor.
Now his sister is leading the fight for prison reform.
This fight is so that his death is not in vain.
Tonight, the hope and hurdles for Larry's Law. Plus, in the hot seat, the back and forth that led the St. Louis sheriff to storm out of City Hall.
It's not a continuous rain, but shower and storm chances, they're ramping up Tuesday evening through much of the rest of the week. Who sees the heaviest rain and why severe weather chances look quite low here.
Right now, a St. Louis woman is pushing for more oversight in Missouri prisons. This after her brother was brutally murdered behind bars.
New at 10, Justina Cornell sat down with Maria Miller, who has been fighting for change for more than 10 years.
Larry was a natural protector. He had a great big heart of love.
Memories are all Maria Miller has left of her little brother.
No, he did not deserve to pass away on a prison floor.
Larry Miller was serving a life sentence for second-degree murder. Despite his crime, he was still family.
He was brutally murdered inside a maximum security prison in the Missouri Department of Corrections, June 9th, 2014.
For the past decade, she's been a voice for her brother.
It's about accountability and truth.
At the now closed Crossroads Correctional Center, Larry was attacked by 2 inmates, stabbed repeatedly. Court documents show no guards were in the pod, and it took more than 3 minutes to respond.
And as I was reading through those files on my brother's death, I saw so much non-accountability and lies. So I started writing. I said, we got to change this.
She created a petition and wrote down changes, never realizing she was creating reform.
The reason I put oversight is gives them someone to answer to.
It caught the attention of Senator Angela Mosley, together drafting Larry's Law in 2021.
Investigate complaints and help ensure that individuals in custody are treated with dignity and fairness.
It's been filed every year since. It would require a state ombudsman to monitor prison conditions.
This law provides oversight and a clear path for concerns to be raised and addressed.
This year, it reached a milestone.
It's the first time it's ever gotten a hearing. It's the first time it's got voted out a committee.
The bill didn't make it out of session this year. For Miller, she's still persistent and passionate, never forgetting the pain.
This fight is so that his death is not in vain.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
And Miller hopes the bill will be introduced again next year. There is a petition online. If you would like to learn more, visit KSDK.com.
St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery stormed out of City Hall today. This came after a heated hearing where members of the Board of Aldermen pressed him on his spending of public funds and his threats to stop transporting inmates in need of medical care. He reversed course on those threats, but told aldermen he doesn't have the manpower.
What you're saying is we need this money, trust us, and the problem is that it is very hard to trust you.
I'm new to this. I was elected 6 months ago. We all make mistakes, and we can learn from mistakes as we go.
The Budget Committee gave him a vocal vote of no confidence. Mayor Kara Spencer says she's aware of the public calls to expel Montgomery through a court process. Today, she did not commit on taking that route.
We are now less than 4 weeks away from the 10th annual Black Wall Street 314 Festival. Just hours ago, organizers and their corporate partners gathered to preview this year's event. Black-owned businesses and musicians will line the historic Wellston Loop on Saturday, June 28th from 1 to 7. The goal of the event is to restore the historic corridor, which thrived in the 50s and 60s. Over the years, they've raised more than $150,000 in housing and community improvements.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the weather impact forecast. And like we said earlier, he's talking about some possible storms.
Yes.
First, he's got to turn on his microphone.
Yes. It should be there.
3, 2, 1.
Is it there?
There you
go. There's the airport. And you're looking out at the airport right now where it is quiet. Most of the flights are in for the night, and so that means your morning flights heading out for tomorrow morning are on the ground and ready to go. Tomorrow is a really warm day, close to 90. We think because of the cloud cover tomorrow, you probably will stay just shy of that, but we haven't had a lot of heat this year. So like today, drink a lot of water. The humidity's kind of filtering back too. The storm chances are with us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Again, not a continuous rain, but for those of you especially trying to do the cleanup in the impacted areas from the storms on May 16th, it is, an impact for you, and we want you to stay safe during that time. But we're not expecting widespread severe weather here. In fact, very limited chances here. That's been focused out to our west and to our south. But look, we're still above 80 degrees tonight in St. Louis. Even Kansas City is still 73 degrees right now. We have the high level smoke, 81. Dew point 66. You can feel it when you walk outside. 87 was our high today. We would have probably hit 90 degrees this afternoon if we'd had the real sun instead of a smoke-filled sky filtering that sun. Tomorrow morning out the door, most of us are going to stay dry. Farther west of St. Louis here, we may have some scattered showers from Herman up towards Troy, and that could continue for a while tomorrow morning. None of that would be severe. As we head into the late afternoon, evening hours, thunderstorms will be making a run at us from central Missouri. Odds are, as they try to push east, they start to fade somewhat, but they may put down some gusty winds, and that seems to be probably the biggest threat with this, especially north and west of St. Louis. During the overnight hours, the overall threats diminish, but we still have some scattered showers and thunderstorm chances lingering on into Wednesday. We'll get another chance Thursday, another chance on Friday, and your severe weather threat from the Storm Prediction Center is mostly for mid-Missouri into northeast Missouri back down towards the Ozarks. Heaviest rain likely to be to the north and west of St. Louis. Pike County, you're included in a flood watch. Pike County, Missouri, and back up towards Hannibal, Kirksville to Kansas City to Columbia, down towards Springfield. That's where the heaviest rain will happen tomorrow night into early on Wednesday. Now, by Thursday and Friday, some spots locally will have an inch or more of rainfall, an inch or two or more of rainfall, even in St. Louis. But it all depends on whether you get under the heaviest showers. With those shower chances, as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that means extra clouds into the mix. It also means we're going to hold temperatures right around or perhaps a little below average during the afternoon hours. Over the weekend, Saturday looks mainly dry. Sunday, at least some scattered storms.
All right.
Thanks,
Scott, thanks.
Here's Corey with sports.
Well, the Cardinals have a slugging superstar prospect to worry about tomorrow. One of our town's all-time greats is ready to say goodbye to the game of soccer, and a high school team won it all for the first time in 9 decades. Stick around, sports is up next. The Cardinals are currently on pace to win 91 games this season. Show of hands, who had that in spring training? There's still a long way to go, though, and this week will certainly be a test. The Dodgers are here this weekend, but before that, KC comes to town, and they brought a reinforcement. The Royals called up slugging prospect Jack Caglione today to make his MLB debut in St. Louis. KC needs offense, and Caglione brings it. He has 15 homers and 56 RBIs in 50 minor league games this season while hitting .322. Andre Palante will try to keep Caglione in the ballpark in tomorrow's opener. The Battlehawks fly into the playoffs this weekend at the Dome against D.C. After getting much of this past week to rest, QB Max Duggan will be back under center. He's no stranger to big games. Duggan played for a national championship at TCU after all, and his coach says he is ready for the postseason.
He's ready to go, man. He understands what we're doing a little bit better. Is he there yet by any stretch? No. Has he played his best game? No. But, man, that's exciting. It's exciting for him and me because, man, now we've won 8. You know, we're in the playoffs. Like, DC has not seen him. They have not faced him as well. He's a different guy.
Illinois high school championships in tennis are hard to come by for downstate schools, but triads Joe Cass and Ethan Stewart defied the odds. When Cass sprained an ankle in the semifinals, tied 4-4 in the final set with the defending champions, the challenge became even greater. So when did it feel like the injury would not deny their dream?
Well, when we held my serve at love, that was incredible. I think that's when we really realized, like, shoot, like this plan could actually work for us.
He played really well on one ankle, and I mean, I want to say he did it for me, but he had to do it for a little bit for himself. But yeah, it was good.
For the first time in over 9 decades, Webster Grove is back on top of Missouri High School track and field. It wasn't without a signature moment. Here's a look at their dive into the history books.
The banner up there, cover up that home of the statesman, put a track.
Webster Grove's track and field is already planning some redecorating at brand new Moss Field. For the first time in 94 years, the Statesmen have a state championship track and field banner to hang.
It was very surreal. I kept thinking I was going to wake up in my hotel room and it wasn't going to be real. I have a lot of the track alumni reach out to me like, track's on the map, baby, we're back.
First time since 1931, it really goes to show that this is a special group of guys, and all of us put our hearts and soul into this the last 4 years.
Part of the Webster win was senior Corbin Cole's 3,200-meter state title run, which he claimed by 0.05 of a second. In quite unique style.
I mean, my form was breaking down. You could tell I was just giving every little bit of
heart. Across the line, Cole dives, and it'll be a close photo finish. Cole, like Superman, dove for the finish line. He breaks the tape first, and he is your state champion in 2025.
The funny thing is I took Corbin from swimming, so I was trying to get the swimmer out of him, but I guess he wanted one last reminder that he was a swimmer.
Show us the battle scars. Both my elbows and then a little bit on my right hip is a little torn up, but I'd say in the moment it didn't hurt at all just because the adrenaline was pumping through my body, but definitely on the car ride home I started feeling it.
Now Cole and his teammates have a memory for a lifetime, with the trophy and the scars to prove it.
All of us are going to give everything to the finish line, and I mean, my race just was the epitome of what our team's all about.
The U.S. women's national soccer team is set for another match in St. Louis. They'll face Jamaica tomorrow night at Energizer Park. If you're going, get there early. Before the game, the team is set to honor an all-time great. Ladue grad Becky Sauerbrunn won 2 World Cups and a gold medal for the national team. Was also the team's captain for a time. She announced her retirement in December and will actually be on the broadcast call tomorrow night. I asked her today if she expected to be emotional for her pregame ceremony.
I am already, telling my TNT crew that I've been sweating a lot just from being uncomfortable. I'm not used to having a lot of spotlight on me about this, but it really is about celebrating the people that got you here. And so to have it in St. Louis, to have my family there, I've got club coaches that I'm still so close with. One of them does my taxes, so I'm like always in contact with her. So to have these people here to celebrate with, I think is what makes it emotional for me.
Also, if you get there early, the first 2,000 fans get this Becky Sauerbrunn bobblehead.
Love it.
She said the face maybe could have been a little bit better, but they nailed the hair and the pink headband.
And the headband,
That's what matters.
too.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Corey, thanks. We'll be right back.
Tonight, Pride St. Louis kicked off Pride Month at Four Hands Brewing Company in downtown. They unveiled the special edition Pride 45 cans of Citywide Light. It commemorates the 45th anniversary of the local effort to support the LGBTQIA+ community. And the two-day Pride Fest kicks off June 28th at Soldiers Memorial. The Grand Pride Parade will march down Market Street Sunday, June 29th at noon. If you can't make it, you can watch it live on our 5+ streaming app. You can download for free on your Roku, Apple, or Fire TV.
Celebrate St. Louis has reason to celebrate tonight for the 4th year in a row. USA Today's readers have named the city's 4th of July celebration as one of the top 10 places to watch fireworks. The display is ranked 9th, receiving high marks for its backdrop of the Gateway Arch and for lasting more than 30 minutes. This year, there'll be 2 nights of fireworks on July 3rd and 4th.
That's just over a month away.
Gosh, it's coming up fast. There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.